Hi guys, today we are in Preseli Hills, North Pembrokeshire. Just starting the walk, we're going to traverse the actual range of hills, starting off with the first fort, which is just up ahead behind the trees there. But before we get there, we've got this great puddle to get through. So fantastic start, but we'll get going. First glimpses of our first summit of the day. There's an old fort up here. We'll have to tell you a little bit more about it when I get up there, 'cause it's a bit of an unplanned route so far today, although we're doing a traverse of some peaks in the range. We're going to be kind of just going or taking it as we go for the day. It's going to be several different peaks we're going through. We're taking in the highest peaks as well of the range. At the top of this one is going to be an old fort, some description, so it's going to be good to explore that. But the scenery is already absolutely beautiful. So, shame it's a little bit cloudy, overcast today, a little bit of drizzle in the air. Certainly misty some summits as we drove through. A little bit covered, drifting in and out of a cloud. But that'll be good. Although this isn't the longest climb in the world, it's definitely gets the blood pumping. It's quite short, quite sweet, really nice grassy track all the way up so far. If you get the right time of year and all this heather is out in blue, it'll be absolutely amazing. As it is today, it's looking a little bit dark, but nonetheless beautiful for it. You just see over in the distance as well, some of the further hills, looking over towards Carmarthen in that direction, I believe, Cardigan over to the north, and Fishguard would be over that way somewhere. So here we are, just heading up, coming up over the summit now, and path's broken away, a little bit more rocky stuff underfoot, but it's pretty good, and we're opening up very, very nearly at the summit. So let's go. I can just see the trig point now. So we're just heading way down from the fortress now, or the old hill fort. A little bit steep, covered in sheep mess everywhere. That's all right. So heading through these kind of little rocky outcrops. See if we can get down this part here. It doesn't look too bad, but it's all good so far. Really enjoying it up here. I haven't seen a single person as yet, but I'm sure that will change as the day goes on. Like I say, see, we're going to head straight across sort of the open country there to the next pinnacle of rocks up the horizon, and we'll stop there for a bit. When you think of all battles, you always think of wars and fighting, but this area around me, Preseli Hills, was the subject for fighting as late as just after the Second World War. Ministry of Defence decided they wanted to have this area all to themselves for training ground, but that would have displaced around 200 different farmers or farmsteads. So they got together, managed to get a very good barrister and challenged the Ministry of Defence. That was back in 1946. 2 years later, in 1948, they actually managed to beat the Ministry of Defence, and this land was retained and it's now open for public to use as well. So it's absolutely fantastic that people cared enough back then still, as they do now and always have done, about the countryside. There have been places in the country where it hasn't been so lucky, like Salisbury, parts of that, Dorset coastline. There's always areas where Ministry of Defence do need to train as well, so it's understandable. So while I'm saying all this, trying to squelch through a lot of this lovely, almost bog conditions. But we'll soon be through this patch. You can see all the reed there, which should have been a bit of a giveaway, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was too busy talking. So now I've got to try and jump across here as well. And again, so I kind of end up down to my waist. Nice. We can just see the sun starting to break through ever so slightly on one of the further hills. We'll probably be there in about 40 minutes, 50 minutes. By which time, obviously, it'll be cloudy again, but not too bad. Cloud is really low today. We can just see it over on the horizon there, actually sinking down sort of below the height of the hills. One of those times trying to get to a certain point and see the path more or less disappears. So just picking our way through all the old heather here. It's absolutely bone dry. So it's not too bad. It's easy enough to get through, but paths tend to run to the south of where, sorry, to the north of where I am, and actually to the south as well, looking at it. Well, we're heading up to that outcrop just in front of us, where we should be treated to a few more absolutely glorious views. I'm going to be quiet for a few moments, just to see if I can pick up some of the bird song. Back now. We've got through most of the heather for now. Because there's a lot of ground nesting birds in the area, I've been trying to follow as many fish shoot trails as possible, looking out for where birds are coming up from out of the ground or off the ground, trying to give them as much space as possible. Just come across this large, but also trying to find a nice easy route without getting absolutely soaked before I go face planting in it. Pembrokeshire is one of those parts of Wales that I really don't know too well. So I've found out about the Preseli Hills, or as the locals like to call them, Preseli Mountains. Thought I'd have a look at it. I was originally looking to do a circular walk, but found the sort of distances involved I didn't have time for. So I opted to do a straightforward traverse. Fortunately, I'm being picked up at the other end and dropped off at the start, so it's made it a lot easier to do this. But I'm really glad so far because it's beautiful. It's rugged. It's just like being in miniature mountains almost. In actual fact, where we'd just been a few minutes ago, it's just been covered by cloud now. So what I want to do is dash up very quickly to this little summit here before the cloud covers that one as well, and we'll carry on. Just have a very quick climb up here, see what it's like from the top. Of all places, we just did in a puddle. So now cloud is really coming in thick and fast from behind. Just get a quick few shots. There you can see the fog cloud is chasing us across now. That's where we was a few moments ago, just up on top. Coming down here below, looks like there's a small shelter. Not quite sure what's for, because there doesn't seem to be any kind of entrance for it. It's just a literal rock wall with no way in. Something I'll have to look into and see what I can find out. Keep wandering around all these, I always want to call them tors, they're very similar to rocky outcrops, a little bit more gnarly than what you get in Dartmoor. But you got that sort of same vibe from them, where you've got all these little outcrops just spreading out everywhere along this ridge. They do seem to tail off a bit. There's another one further ahead, about a mile and a half ahead. A few more just over to the north here. But yeah, it's all pretty good. This is what we like to see when we're out walking. Just up ahead, I don't know if you can see it, just above the hill, tiny bit of blue sky, and in fact, a little bit more there. You see a plane going through, and the sun is peeping through. It is fantastic. There's even some sheep enjoying the views as well, and the scenery. So far I've been really impressed with the quality of the trails along here. They're nice, very short, got a grass hard pack, not too muddy. There's, in the lower parts, you know, you're going to expect to get a bit of water. We've had a lot of rain over the last couple of days here, so it's pretty good. So we've just been heading up to that small outcrop there, and small deviation from the path, which is roughly where that line of rocks are over there. Spotted this, which looks like a kind of stone circle, almost stone avenue, where they're sort of parallel stones facing each other, but I have been ended off with this one here. There's one laying down at the far end, so I'm guessing it's classed as a circle still. But it's pretty nice. We started our walk right over on that peak in middle distance there. Came along, up through those kind of craggy areas, and then back along the ridge here. We've still got a way to go. We're going to head up to this outcrop here. Should have some nice views from there, and should be able to see a little bit more of our destination. See route we're going to be taking. So straight down the hill ridge to a high point over there, straight ahead, and we're going to the left slightly up along that ridge to the highest point. That's the highest point on the Preseli Ridge. We're going down from there, and there's a further peak just behind, which we'll quickly shoot up top if there's enough time, and back down. Just over to the right there, just between over headland there, just about to start to see a little bit of reflection from the sea. So we are fairly close to the coast. Cardigan, I think, is around 10 miles away, so it's fairly accessible, sort of place, and absolutely stunning. Well worth a visit. Just stopped for a quick break now. We're at a place called Carnbica, B-I-C-A. I can't pronounce the Welsh, unfortunately, so I don't want to offend anyone. 385 metres above sea level. The high point on this part of a hill or ridge is just straight in front of me, which is 402 metres, so just over there in the distance. I'm not going to be heading up to it today because we just want to kind of crack on and head down the ridge we're aiming for. But it's a lovely, peaceful spot. Just seen a couple of dog walkers, and it's, yeah, really peaceful and relaxing. So nice to actually get away from sort of the hustle and bustle of everyday life just for a little while. It's absolutely great. Really recommend anyone who's looking for a place to walk and visiting Pembrokeshire, come up here. It is just lovely. Really is nice. It's like miniature mountains, but with a whole host more. We've been really lucky with the weather on this track. The sun's coming out more. Sky clouds are starting to break up a little bit more than they had been. Getting closer towards the highest point on the walk, which isn't too much further away now. We've got one more little summit to get to prior to that, and then we're going to just track across that ridge, get to the high point, and then retrace our steps back down, drop down the other side of the hill onto our final climb for the day. But absolutely glorious, lovely views, so peaceful, so relaxing. Just absolutely wonderful up here. So, yeah, these lovely kind of formations here. Just trying to make my way through. You've got stones just standing apparently on edge. Very majestic. As we look around again, it's just absolutely wonderful here. I was about to say all we can hear is bird noise as a plane is flying overhead, so I don't know if that's being picked up in the microphone. 20 minutes or so, been coming across large burnt patches. Now, I don't know if it's a managed burn or if it's just wildfire, but you can actually see there's already regenerative growth already forming. So it's one of those things that you do see a lot of wildfire, you do see a lot of damage caused. I mean, I was in the Dragon's Back near Black Mountains later part of last year, and you can see where the peat had been really burnt down deep, in some places about 2-3 foot deep, which is absolutely devastating. Here it does seem very much on the surface and just literally the grass itself has burnt away. There's very little heather here, so whether there had originally been heather, that was what was burnt down. Got no idea. I can't see any signs of it at all. But yeah, sad to see, but it will regrow. That's the good thing. That's the beauty about nature. It will always take advantage of any exposed patch of land and start growing again. Just coming up to the summit now, or summit cairn off Falfordale, I think that's how it's pronounced. 467 metres above sea level, and one of the last high points on our walk now. So we can actually see the cove of the coast over here as well, standing out a little bit more prominently than before. But the views are still just as fantastic. We come across the ridge from over there, straight over, and back down, winding our way through. It's been absolutely glorious, fantastic walk so far. There's still more to come. There you go, slip over just as I get the summit again. So we're going to hit that track straight across here now, coming over up to the final summit of the day potentially, then wind our way back down just over the other side, drop down to a car park, and hopefully that'll be it, get picked up. But we might even get that last summit in as well. We'll see how it goes, time. So, heading along this footpath to get onto the final large climb, or the highest point in Pembrokeshire, and you can see those fence coming up. Just hoping there's somewhere to cross. In actual fact, it looks like there is a star, so should be able to get across that quite easy now. That's one of those things. I knew there was a fence line on the map, and knew there's a entry into the next section further up on the hill, but I didn't know about this one, so this is an absolute added bonus for me now, which is really good. That's before the ground swallows me up. Yeah, it's getting a little bit boggy again. Oh yeah, you don't want to get caught on that. In fact, getting caught on that is probably a better option almost. There you go. Yeah, that is not the best one ever. When you got to watch your step when you're looking at that as well. There you go. This last planned climb of the day is actually quite slippy underfoot. You see it's just all kind of mush for a lot of water. You see that? So all the way up, it's been like that from just down somewhere in the centre there. But having a look round now, the view makes it all worthwhile. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely loving this walk. So not too much further. Should be able to see the summit from when we just got onto the brow of the little ridge here, and see how much further it is to go. No sooner had I said about coming over the brow of the summit, no sooner had I said about coming over the brow of the ridge, we should be able to see the summit. You can see a checkpoint now, directly ahead, just a few hundred metres away. So making really good progress on the walk. Depending on what time we get down towards the car park. So no sooner have I said about coming over the brow on the ridge, we should be able to see the summit. We just about make out a checkpoint straight in front of us, a few hundred metres away. We're making really good progress now. So there's a possibility we might be able to take in the next peak over there. Let's see how it goes. Shouldn't be too long, probably hour and a half if we get onto that one, but time will tell. So we just come up to the summit now of Pembrokeshire. I think that's how it's pronounced, probably completely wrong there. But it's 536 metres above sea level. The highest point on our walk today. Should get to the trig point. There's a group of people around there at the moment, so I'm just holding back, let them take their photos and stuff before we make our way up there. But we'll be there in a few minutes and enjoy. Looks like we've made it up here just in time. We've got clouds rolling in across from the coast there at quite a low level. They're going to be just hitting some of the tops here fairly soon. But while we're here, we've got some fantastic views. So here we are. We've just made it to the summit and the trig point. Been absolutely brilliant. Loved this walk. You can just see some of the sea over in the distance, but the clouds are still rolling in. So I'm going to make a move back down now. We're going to head down to a car park which is just below sort of the next sort of summit over there. See how we get on. Might try and get up there, but we'll make a decision when we get towards the car park. Heading down from the summit, and you can see probably behind me the clouds are starting to roll in quite heavily now. There's a little bit of rain in the air, nothing too bad. So I'm going to hold fire and put on a coat on just for a minute to see how it becomes. But any heavier, we'll have to start putting that on. Yeah, it's all really nice. We've got some ragged clouds in front as well, just rolling in from the coast, and they've actually spread onto the ridge where it was on earlier, although that's just a little bit hidden from sight now. It's amazing how quick weather changes. A minute ago we had this really ragged cloud which has moved over to here now, but where it had been, you've got a beautiful bay. I believe that might be St Denis Head, but probably completely wrong there. So don't quote me on that one. Right, just come through from the summit now, and we're heading down towards the car park. You can just see here we're getting more into farming sort of territory instead of this open moorland, but we're coming across some of the grazing animals and our livestock, so we've got a few sheep around there. and a few ponies, so lovely to see those. Don't think we can get too close to them, but they come up to us, well and good. We've been walking for a while now. We've come to this plantation with different types of pine. There's a few Scots pine and other types just resemble more Christmas trees. Can't really see too closely. But yeah, it's nice to see something a little bit different. Creates habitat for different wildlife. So it's always good to see. Well, that was all very exciting for a few moments. Don't think I've ever been in a position where I had so many horses actually come charging towards me. Not knowing quite what to do there, but just want to stand still, show I'm not a threat to them and let them go past, which is exactly what they've done. But very exciting. We're almost back at the car park now. So what we're going to do is head up that final hill, have a look around from the summit up there to see all the places we've been today, have a bite to eat and then head back down the hill and hopefully picked up. See you in a bit. We've actually got to a road, first one I've seen in absolutely hours. So I've got what it's like to walk on them almost. Don't know if you recognise these horses. These are the ones which were just galloping towards me a little while ago on the hill just behind us now. So I've caught up with them and just spent a few minutes walking alongside them. It's been rather lovely. So this is how it's been. I stop, they stop. I walk, they walk. So we're now approaching the summit of Cerrig Cladron. I think that's how it's pronounced, which again, I probably have got that completely wrong, so apologies. 468 metres above sea level. It is without doubt the final climb of the day now. We have had a fantastic one. Views are spectacular, as you'd expect. So you've got a couple of reservoirs down there. And you can look back around to the highest point and right down towards the end distance. That is where we started off today. So it's been absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyable. Still got to head back down towards the car park and the final summit. So we got up to a trig point and look once more from views there. So here we have it. Final summit for today. Absolutely fantastic. So we've done probably, as crow flies, 5 mile, which isn't far, but we've walked obviously a lot further than that. It is absolutely beautiful. There's a Bronze Age burial mound built about 2,000 years ago directly behind us there. But we can see here we've got absolutely amazing views all the way around. I'm going to leave you there. Thank you ever so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed kind of doing a walk and making a video. Hopefully see you again soon. If you did like it, please hit that like button and also hit subscribe. Many thanks. Bye for now.